Good morning, T-Wolves, and welcome to your Friday Sports Report. I'm Kira Cox.
And I'm Gustav Mountjoy. We have a packed show this morning with a feature on the Austin American Statesman Athlete of the Week, a recap of volleyball's playoff matchup against Bernie Champion, some stats from football's win over Lake Belton, along with a preview of tonight's game against Leander.
We also highlight some of the records being broken this year, your Alpha Wolf Athlete of the Week, and we have a very special video in honor of Senior Night. Quarterback David Cooper was named the Austin American Statesman Athlete of the Week. The Statesman nominates around 10 athletes from the Austin area each week to go head-to-head to receive the honor, deciding a winner based solely on the votes of the community. David was nominated based on his stats from the October 17th game against Glenn, where he finished 12 of 16 passes, threw 3 touchdowns, and ran another in himself. He says that though the award came as a surprise, he is so thankful for everyone who took the time to vote for him.
Thank you to the community. I know I just saw some people even posting, just trying to get people to vote for me and just reaching out to many new people. I saw people from California who I just know from family friends voting for me. So it's just a big thanks to them and just taking time out of their day to vote for me.
Congratulations, David, and thank you so much to everyone who voted.
Switching gears, the Lady Timberwolves are officially by-district champions following last night's nail-biting matchup against Bernie Champion. The game started off slow for the Timberwolves, but the energy quickly transformed. The girls won the first set 27-25 and the second 25-17.
Set 3 came down neck and neck till the last points, but Bernie ended up coming through and winning by 2. The Timberwolves then took set 4 25-17 and secured the win. The kill leaders of the game were once again Joy Udoye and Maya Cheatham with 12 each. The girls will take on Edison early next week in round 2, but the date and location are still to be determined. Keep checking back on our social medias for the latest updates.
Now on to our football team, who won last Friday against the Lake Belton Broncos 49-21. It was another dominant night for Trey Hill, who racked up a season-high 229 yards along with 3 touchdowns.
David Cooper threw for 2 touchdowns and ran in another himself. The Cedar Park defense stepped up as well, with sacks from Grant Clemens and Jimmy Aluko, as well as interceptions from CJ Rogers and Madden Kiev.
The boys still sit third in the district standings with a 4-1 record, trailing only Eastview and Georgetown for the top spot. There is still a lot that can change before the regular season ends, so make sure to keep coming out to support.
We wanted to give a shout out to the football team for some record-breaking numbers they've put up this season.
The T-Wolf offense has been stellar, putting up over 500 yards in the last 3 games with a 600-yard performance against Glenn, becoming the 7th team in school history to reach that number. Coach Q says the results they've shown haven't been surprising to him, considering the work he's seen.
So the way that they're showing up to practice, the way that they worked out in the offseason, into spring ball, summer workouts, and then now, no, it's not surprising. They work hard and they work hard for each other. So it means a lot to them.
Coming up, the voice of the Timberwolves, Brad Cohn, is back in the studio to give a preview of tonight's matchup against Leander. But first, these sports updates. Joining me again today is Brad Cohn, the co-host of Timberwolf Night in America and the voice of the Cedar Park Timberwolves. So how are you doing today?
Doing good. Close to Halloween trick-or-treat time. That's why I wore my orange tonight instead of green.
Yes,
got the Halloween
switch
color.
It up.
Look like a pumpkin.
So the Timberwolves are going into tonight's game with a lot of momentum. Last week was a really great win against Lake Belton, and then it's also senior night. What do you think the vibe is going to be tonight?
Spooky. I'm going to come to the press box dressed as a sports announcer. I think that's my costume tonight. This is going to be a good vibe because it's Leander. We always like to dislike Leander. It's been a big rivalry through the years. It's kind of cooled off because they haven't been able to beat us much lately. We're bigger rivals with Vandergrift. We're 9-7 against them. Mm-hmm. Our record against Leander through the years, after we lost 4 of the first 6 times we played them, they haven't won since. Oh, wow. 2007 was the last time they beat us, and we won 13 in a row against them over the years since. So it's kind of cooled off. But they're spurred on by the fact that if they beat us and then win their next game and we lose to Georgetown, they supplant us in the playoffs. So we need a win to clinch it.
Yes.
And of course, if we win and Eastview loses also, which they could against Rouse, and then we win against Georgetown, we're the district champs for the 13th time in school history.
And
not bad in 26 years of football.
No,
half
not
the
at
time
all.
we're district champs.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. What do you think we should expect to see tonight against Leander?
You know, I'm really buoyed by the fact that the defense had their best game ever for the season last week. It started out looking like it kind of still struggling, 3 touchdown drives, all long ones, 70 yards or more in the first half. But in the second half, you know what they did? They gave up only, I think it was 67 yards rushing. And from the middle of the third quarter on, their passing game, Lake Belton's, went 2 for 13 with 2 interceptions and -4 yards passing. That is some passing defense. And if the defense plays the rest of the season like they did the second half against Belton, the sky's the limit for this football team.
And then what do you think about our offense? I know they've been pretty consistent, but
They really are. You know, we've got 2 guys really at the top of the record book in quarterbacking, Ryder Hernandez, and in rushing, Quentin Smith, who's a 36-year-old man now, if you're out there, Quentin. But their records are so lofty, I've always wondered if anybody's ever going to touch any of them. Well, Trey Hill's getting really close to a lot of Quentin's records, and that is really exciting. Riders are so far up. David Cooper's going to, by the time he's done this year and next year he's going to be the next guy. But, you know, I mean, if he ends up with 5,000-6,000 yards passing, those are great numbers. He's not going to touch Ryder's 10,000.
That's insane.
Sorry, David, but Ryder was just so prolific. But both those guys are doing great. We're getting Cameron back again to help spell Trey a little bit in the backfield. We might be getting Jonah Johnson back again, as you and I were saying earlier. So the offense is just getting better and better. You know, if the defense can get Leander, get maybe at least 1 turnover out of him, make them punt at least 3 times, it's a win. We're going to win.
And then do you have anything else that you want to add?
Well, I want to congratulate the volleyball team.
Yes.
You know, they were in the first round of the playoffs last night, and I'm trying to see if I can get a couple of 3 of them to join me in the booth for the game interview, the halftime interview for the game tonight. We'll see if that can happen or not. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming out to the studio and joining me again this morning. Make sure to come out to Gupton tonight at 7 p.m. to see the game live for senior night. We'll be back with this week's Alpha Wolf Athlete of the Week right after these game announcements. Before we go, we wanted to recognize this week's Canes Alpha Wolf Athlete of the Week, Joy Udoye. The senior Stanford commit has had an amazing season with the T-Wolves, helping lead the volleyball team to an undefeated district season. Head coach Larry McLaughlin says that Joy has developed so much over the past 4 years in both her leadership and mentorship of her teammates on and off the court.
She always led by how she carried herself on the court, but now she's also being the voice and the heart and the pulse of the program, and just really being that mentor for the other younger players or just players in general on the court, and trying to get them in the right mindset heading into our postseason. So she definitely brings a lot of that experience being a senior this year, and finally, you know, just being that voice, which is somebody that we need.
Congratulations, Joy. Make sure you have plans to come out to support our football team tonight at Gupton, or you're keeping up with the scores on our Instagram at CPHS News or our X at CPHS_sports. With CPHS News, I'm Gustav Mountjoy.
And I'm Kira Cox. Now, in honor of senior night, we have a very special hype video.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.